type simulator that we've been building. So if you recall from the previous videos, part 1 and part 2, we built a target simulator in Unity, and we then demonstrated obviously the capabilities of that simulator. And in part 2, I think we walked through obviously sort of like what we produced and the effort towards putting the score capture integration into that particular project. Okay, so this is part 3 then. So basically we're on the virtuascore.com website now. What we've done is we've added a new element in here with the simulators tab. And we've actually got the target simulator actually embedded within the web browser. Okay, so let's take a look then. So at the moment, obviously, if you go to the virtuascore.com website and sign in, you need to register an account. Click on the Matches tab, and you can scroll down and you can see that we've added in a new one here for Virtuascore, and this at the moment is covering the target shooting simulator. Okay, so let's take a look at the target shooting match. So it's very much similar to what you've seen before. So you have your software type top left with obviously the type of simulator or range. In this case, target shooting is the name. Again, we have the course types followed by the date. And if I drop down here, you can see that this now represents the available courses that you can actually run in that. So you have a set number of distances with a set number of rounds per distance. So those are available to select here. Same format as before. You've got obviously your top 20 scores, your 20 most recent scores, and like a running kind of list of from right to left of your shots and your scores. Sorry, and obviously a trend line showing you that. There's an overall range, so again this is a breakdown of where the scores sit within a particular range. Then you also have your best score, obviously listed here, based on your account, and top 50 scores currently recorded. So on this particular one, I'm logged in on this account. There is currently no active scores being logged. We can see that if we go to the scorecard. So there's no, for this particular set of range and date, there's no actual scores being captured. Here it's showing obviously the first, second and third position of the current match. So that's the scoreboard itself, so this is the other scores from other competitors. You've got the podium again, so same deal. Still got the same filters, but here it shows you the last 28 days of top three scores. Sorry. So you can see here, same format as you've seen on other matches, and also the practice tab again for the account, but for this particular one, obviously there's no scores that have been captured as practice scores, and we'll demonstrate that when we do when we show the simulator. Okay, so let's drop back into virtuascore.com site and click on the simulators tab. So in here now you have obviously the Virtuascore simulators listed in this particular page. We have the one here that obviously is the one that's available now. We are obviously looking to build new ones over time, but this obviously is the first version to be built, and obviously hopefully based on kind of feedback and how this operates, we'll be able to learn from that and obviously build out new simulators. Okay, so we click on this, it will take us to the page, and you see this will be loading the Unity simulator within the context of the browser. And again, you've seen this in previous videos, but you've got the kind of simulator running in this window within the browser. You can actually obviously trigger it to be full screen, so this allows you to kind of show display it on a projector or large screen when you're using simulators similar to the Smokeless Range from Laser Ammo. So in this context, if you have that package, you can use the camera and obviously the lasers and use this as your simulator projected on the screen in the same way that you would use your Smokeless Range simulators. Okay, so what we're going to do then is I'm just going to run this basically a couple of times, whatever is a timed mode and practice mode. We'll do like sort of 5 each, and then I'm going to obviously see the score capture. Now there is a 5-minute kind of time delay between scores that are captured from the simulator to what are available within the actual match scores. So I'll obviously edit out that time, and we'll go straight to obviously seeing those particular scores being captured. Okay, so we'll leave it at a target distance 0 yards. Again, you've got obviously the option here to choose up to 15 yards simulated distance. Likewise, shots, you can have 5 through to 25 shots, and obviously they're treated as separate course types within the context of score capture. You've also got the timed option, so this is something I've mentioned previously in the other video, that we, from a competitive perspective, if you run timed, then your scores will be calculated and logged against competitive match scores. If you run it as just non-timed, which essentially would be practice scores. So if you run it timed, they'll be submitted towards other competitor scores and obviously record it against the actual match for that day, each day. If you run it obviously non-timed, it's just practice scores, and they'll be logged in your practice tab. So you can obviously use that as a means to be able to sort of obviously see, you know, how you're performing, whatever, on practice without having to submit scores. Okay, so let's run this 5 times each. So we'll go ahead and start with this. Again, very familiar format you've seen in previous videos. You've got obviously the target itself here at the distance that we specified. Top right, you've got obviously your shots remaining, so that's how many rounds you have essentially. Obviously recorded hits, misses, and the score. You have the hit zone, which is like a sort of heat map of where your shots are. You can zoom in. This feature is only available during the practice mode option. And on the top, on the left-hand side here, you have hit count. So this is obviously shows you the number of hits per each region. So each ring and obviously subsequent score, you can kind of see like a running total here. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire off 5 shots. Make it appear. We've got some different levels of scores. So now you get the after action report. So again, you see distance, obviously the hits they had, misses, and a total score. Now at this point, obviously the API is triggered to capture that score. Now we can go ahead and obviously just restart. So that takes us back into the same set of parameters we had previously. So we go ahead and obviously run another few. Okay, so number 3. So you can see the hit zones here. So obviously as you shot, these light up in a sort of lighter green to sort of show where your distribution of your hits are. Okay, I think do just one more then. Okay, so that was under the practice scores. So what we'll do now is we'll exit now, and we'll do timed. So this will be where you get the timed option. So same layout, the only difference is up here you see this time appearing, which is obviously recorded against your drill. Now the timer doesn't start until you take your first shot, but everything else is the same. There is no zoom option here, so you can't like zoom in midway through, because obviously when you're running on a timer, you just want to have a fluid set of shots, whatever, best score, you know, fastest time. Okay, so let's simulate a couple of bad shots here. Okay, so you can see here now it's obviously added the timing. So that's number 2. And then 5. Okay, so that should now go to our after action report, and obviously now we can either exit here. So if you exit, you also come back to the beginning. If you hit the escape key on the browser, you can see that it drops back into the main browser, and you've got the ability to obviously navigate back to the Virtuascore site. Okay, so we do that. Okay, so now we take a look at the scores. So we're back on the virtuascore.com page, and we go to the matches. And if we scroll down, we choose obviously the target shooting scores. So this brings us back in, and again we can see this is a scoreboard. So obviously if we scroll down a bit now, you can see that we have logged our best score. So let's give us obviously first position here. So let's go ahead and go look at our scorecard. So remember, the scoreboard is obviously all scores. So we've captured here currently some 13 scores. Go to scorecard, and you can see that we captured as 5 scores. So this is now only scores that are relevant to your account or your shooting profile. Okay, so as you've seen before on other videos, we've captured scores here. So you can see our 5 scores here on the left, top 20 best scores. We've only taken obviously 5, and obviously you can see here the kind of trend of those going right to left, and the distribution of where those particular scores fell within the ranges that we set. And likewise, obviously the best position followed by the kind of top 50. So, and again, this is only relevant to this account. So Okay, so we go ahead and look at the practice scores. So again, we've got practice scores here. So again, we've captured 5 of those, and you can see obviously same format, same layout. This time obviously we're only really talking about scores here that are captured as practice. So hence the time here is not available. So that doesn't show any given time. But anyway, so that's just a quick overview video to sort of like demonstrate obviously part 3 and the fact that we've now accomplished what we plan to do by creating a simulator that has score capture built in. And obviously, you know, more than welcome to come and register on the site and use that freely. Again, if you have the laser ammo Smokeless Range, you can obviously use the conjunction with the camera that you'll have with that setup, and likewise any sort of like lasers you have for any of your Airsoft air pistols, whatever, then it would work perfectly with that. I might do some additional videos, whatever, with me submitting some scores on this new target shooting simulator, just to sort of show obviously how it works for me. And that's it pretty much. So thanks for watching. Catch you next time.